Having an A+ setup comes from understanding where you should enter in a particular trade. Just like that, I took a trade last week on Tesla, which gave me a net return of 165%. If you look at it from the gross return point of view, premiums went from $1.90 all the way to $10 on that particular trade. That is 500% return. Now, how did I cash that trade? Simply by paying attention to two things. One, key level, and second is reading order flow or level 2 in time and sales. And in today's video, I'm going to break that trade down and show you exactly what we were looking at. Let's get into it. Now, this was the trade on Tesla, right? You guys can see we are coming back to retest that opening range. Now, I did attempt to take this trade here as well because of a particular reason, which I'm going to get into later on in the video. And it failed, got caught in this. But later on, when it came back, there was a certain pattern I saw on the tape, which made me jump right back into this trade, leading us to making 165% return. Now, the value of the trade was 41,800. This has been my position size lately, and gross return was almost $70,000 on this particular trade. And you guys can see it wasn't a trade that went, crazy. It was just the return because of 0DT premiums. Now, why did we take this trade? And why did we attempt to take this trade earlier on? Now, one, Tesla had positive news. We came and we're testing that 400 level. 400 is a psychological key level for Tesla. So when at the opening drive, when it came towards that 400, I got in, but the sellers were very strong at that 400 level and buyers were not able to take them out, which is why we got that rejection and we pulled back. Now, you might be wondering, well, how do you know that the sellers were strong around this point? Well, that's where your level 2 and time and sales comes into play, right? So basically what this is it shows us orders that are coming in, which is your level 2, meaning let's say if I'm somebody who wants to jump into the trade and I say, hey, I want to buy this stock at 397.73, this would be your bid. I would place the order. Keep in mind, only limit orders, not market orders. That order would then show up on the level 2, which would show me, somebody else, that, hey, there's somebody interested to buy this stock at this price point. Now, time and sales is orders that actually went through. So you have a buyer, you have a seller. They both come to an agreement. They say, okay, you want to buy the stock at this price. I want to sell the stock at this price. How about we meet in the middle, or we meet at this price point and I'll sell you the stock and you can buy it at this price. So once they agree on that price then shows up on your time and sales, which shows, hey, there was 3 shares that were traded between a buyer and seller at this price and at this time. Now, this is on demand, which means we're going back in time. So it's not going to show you the exact down to the second of when the order was filled, but typically that is the whole point. Now, if you are completely new to reading order flow or level 2 in time and sales, comment order flow and I'll make a video on the basics on what you need to be looking at in order to learn and get towards the right direction of being able to understand reading the tape. Now, there's a ton of sources out there that provide this information, such as Bookmap, that has made it a little bit more easier for people to read the tape. Then you have ATAS, you have Sierra, you have all these other platforms out there that provide this information, which makes it much easier for traders to read that information. Now, not a lot of people actually know how to read the tape, which is why you see that there's a big trend in people switching into order flow recently in the last year to 2 years, because people see the real value in reading what is going to happen before or right around a key level. Because once we get close to that level and you see that the opposite side is getting taken out, that usually means you're going to get a slight short squeeze. Like, for example, in Tesla, that 400, you guys can see that you already have sellers starting to stack up closer to that 398. And as we get closer and closer to that 400, we will see that big order sitting there and it gets taken out. Now, how do I use order flow to my advantage? Now, I'm not going to jump in right around that 400 price point, because at that point it's going to be too late. If the sellers get taken out very aggressively, this is just going to take off. I'm going to be chasing at that point. If they reject here, I'm not going to have enough time to exit the trade. So usually what I do and how I use the tape to my advantage is I'll look for a pattern before we get into that particular level that we're testing. So in this case, it's 400. So what I want to see is Tesla closing into this wick zone where we've been rejecting earlier. So you guys can see sellers have been showing a lot of strength over this 396 to 397 level. So now this candle, we're coming up and we have very aggressive volume, much more aggressive than throughout the whole day, obviously not counting the opening volume. Wherever this candle closes, that is going to be my entry point for the longs. And now, since our target breakout is that 400, what we want to pay attention to is if there are strong sellers sitting at that price point. That is going to help us identify if we should stay in the trade or if we should cancel that trade out, close it out, and jump out. Because now with options, especially 0DT, if you're wrong, you can take a big hit on these trades. Because on the opening drive trade that I took about a 30% hit on this because of the pullback. But because I made almost 200% on this second attempt, this is where it kind of helped me get out of that loss. Now, you guys can see as we're coming up to 399, we want to pay attention to is the flashing of that closer to 400. You guys see that big order, right? If you're using Bookmap, if you're using ATAS, Sierra, what they do is they actually show you those orders on a chart. So that way you can see, hey, there's a big limit order sitting at 400. So you don't have to kind of constantly look here on the lower end to see where there's a large order sitting. It'll already highlight that for you on the chart. So right when we closed into that 399, this is where we kind of took that long trade. We went with the 400 calls, as you guys can see here. We did the 400 calls, which was 0DTE. And you guys will see once we get closer to that, two things you want to pay attention to. One, that strong seller, and second, those orders getting filled. We want to see those 400 orders or higher, like 400.01, 03, 04, 05, and so on, popping up here, because that will show us now that even though there was a strong seller sitting at that 400 mark, there are orders getting filled above that. And once that happens, that is a sure sign of that breakout. So you guys see right here, we're right at that 400, and we're going to start seeing that orders getting filled above that. So you guys can see we're holding very well. Second thing we want to pay attention to is the bids holding that 400. So once we break out, that is not enough. We want to make sure that the buyers are holding. So you guys see how we're switching between 399.99 to 400 and over and back and forth. That's not a good sign. What you want to see is holding that 400. Once that holds, that is where you guys will see that clean follow through. Now, because we were in way before that breakout happened, right at that close of 398.50 on this, after this pullback, at this point, after it breaks out, this is where the premiums are going to get the most benefit from that increase. So what do I mean by that? Most people are not aware of how to read the tape. They're not looking for, strong sellers or strong buyers around a key level or anything like that. What they're kind of looking for is, hey, it failed earlier at 400. When it breaks again over 400, this is where I'm going to jump in, or usually a break and retest. Now, at this point, since you're already in, you had that influx of volume, you see that volume is growing, you see that interest in buyers coming in around that zone going into 400, you have such an early entry that at this point where most people are looking to jump in, this is where you can start to scale out. You can start to take a little bit of your premiums off. So they went from $1.80 to almost $1.90 all the way to $2.50, $2.25, and then $3.55, literally in 4 minutes, right? And at this point, what we do is we take our stop loss. So if it was at 397, we bring it up to where our strike is, which is 400. And at that point, because the strike is now in the money, those 0DT premiums are not going to be losing any more value. Well, I wouldn't say they won't lose any value, but they won't lose as much value as you guys are used to seeing 0DT premiums lose value. Because once the strike is in the money, it retains value better because it's considered to be safe zone. So when you're in these 0DTs, especially when a stock like Tesla is breaking out of a key level, at that point, you don't really have to worry about giving any of your profits back as long as it doesn't give that 400 key level away, right? So you guys see as we continue on the higher end, premiums went to $5, $6.80. At this point, we're very, very comfortable in our trade because even if it pulls back, as long as we're far away from 400, now obviously we're not keeping our stop at 400, we're increasing it because coming back from $6 all the way to 400, that would be straight stupidity if you're going to keep holding your trade to that same stop loss. You obviously want to keep increasing that stop loss considering that it's 0DT. So we had our stop roughly around 403 and change. Then at the peak, the premiums went to $9.05 and $9.50 was the highest that these premiums actually went to during the time that we were in this trade. Then we had our stop loss. We had increased it to 406 or 407. And once we closed below that, this is where we closed the final position. And that gave us a net return of 165%. But the main thing I want you guys to focus on is why we took the trade here, which was that increase of volume. We closed into that wick zone. And once we took over that 400 level, buyers got strong. They took those sellers out where earlier sellers were much stronger above 399. Here, buyers took over and we kind of got that short squeeze kind of a play on the upside, which gave us, again, 500 to 600 gross percent return and 165% net return. Now, if you guys are not familiar with order flow, like I said, comment order flow in the comment section below, and I'll make a complete basics tutorial on exactly what to look for, what bids are, what ask is, what to look for in time and sales when there's a breakout in the next video. I'll see you guys then.